Hello mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. In this Friday afternoon's review, we're going to take a look at Gunslinger Spawn. Now, from Mcfarlane Toys, I found this at my local Target. So, I have seen other Spawn action figures in the span of several months of toy hunt for this action figure, but I really haven't seen this specific action figure until this afternoon's find. So luckily also, when I found this figure, it was also on clearance for $12.49. So I immediately grabbed this guy and rushed out of the door. So right now we are going to review this fine figure by Mcfarlane Toys. So this action figure comes basically with a stand, and next accessories would be the rifle, the lever action rifle with really fine details on it. We also have a pair of single action revolvers and a rifle holding case which the figure could sling over his shoulders this way. The stand that comes with this figure basically is just a stand that is for the securing onto the foot. Now let's take a look at the individual accessories that comes with this Spawn action figure. So let's start with the pistols. So the single action pistols, the handles are engraved with the skull logo. We have the lever action rifle. Well, you just have to subject this to a little bit of heat and reshaping because it's kind of warped out of packaging. So we also have ornament on the buttstock and some detail on the receiver. So this is the other side. So still ornament. And we have the carrying case for the rifle. So we have pockets on the side for ammunition storage, and you could either slip this either ways or like this if it's going to be a left shoulder draw, like this if it's a right shoulder draw. So this case does not have any molding on the inside of the plastic, so you could easily just shove the rifle in for storage. So it isn't mold specific to the rifle that it's going just to be this way. So either ways, it's possible for storage. So primarily, this is just what you need with a Gunslinger Spawn action figure. So let's take a look at the articulation and at the same time the details of this Gunslinger Spawn action figure. So let's start with the head. So we have decent articulation on the head, with nice range of motion, except that sometimes when you try to make this figure look upwards, the brim of the hat interferes with that articulation point, especially because it engages with the collar of the coat. But depends on how you articulate the neck area, you could still possibly have a head tilt action of some sort. I'm thinking later of applying a little bit of heat so I could possibly take off this hat and examine the head sculpt of this action figure. Now those are really wide collars for the red coat. This action figure actually reminds me of a anime TV series that I've watched in the Philippines. It's called Trigun. So Vash Stampede, red coat, revolvers, and really still also a nice anime series. So when I saw this, it reminds me of Vash Stampede. So well, let's go to the abdominal area. So the coat, so that is the details that we have inside the coat area. So we have a cut on the diaphragm area, that is for articulation point. So we have a ball over here and a ball on the waistline. So possible rotations and a little bit of abdominal twist, but not so much. So quite hindered, but it's okay. This figure is more really on the looks department. When you display this figure, you'll really be awed at the amount of details that it has on it. But the thing that is really annoying with this figure are all the spikes that are present, or the sharp things that are present on the figure. So especially on the hands, on the palm, on the forearm, on the shoulders, on the biceps, on the boots, on the foot, and heel spurs. So just prepare when you handle this action figure that you go to areas on the action figure, hold on to the areas of the action figure where those sharp objects won't really annoy the pads of your hands, like or the pads of your fingers, I mean. So right now, as you could see, my fingers are turning red just by articulating this figure. So from the arms, we have side-by-side movement, forward and backward movement. We also have a cut on the biceps for rotation, 2 points of articulation for the elbow, and it's a clean cut, does not look abnormal. So great job, Mcfarlane Toys, with that elbow bend. Now, as for the foot area, because of these gimmicks and the design of the pants just above over here, it really impedes the articulation of the foot moving forward, so not much. Sidewards, quite decent, but not so much too. So as for backwards, because of the design of the butt area, we don't have much of a back kick for this figure. And those are the details for the pouches. We also have a little bit of sling over here for the pouches up front, which are color red. The boots, finely detailed, and you have to hit this area to really free it, because even if right now I've already subjected this area to blow dryer, just the minimum heat, it still is quite stiff, so just be careful with this area. So we also have toe articulation for the boot. So that is the reason why I would rather have this kind of stand to support this figure, because of the foot area, especially the design of the sole of the boot. It's quite at an angle, so tendency really, because of the majority of the weight of the plastic is up here, so it's either unsupported just by that foot peg, your figure is going to fall backwards or fall forwards. So, but really fine detail on all of the pouches. We have a molded knife here too, and we have the tightening devices for the holsters to really cinch up on the barrel and on the rest of the pistol, so it won't fall off the holster. And we still have pockets. So, and the coat is designed in such a way as to expose the holsters. So the coat does not drape over the holsters, it exposes the holsters. So nice job on the design of this Spawn action figure. So I took off the coat of this Spawn action figure, and as you could see, we have the areas exposed where this coat covers it, because actually I still need to subject this point over here on the abdomen so it would move freely, because right now it is still stiff. And as for the hands area, we have rotation on that on the wrist, and well, these things are really annoying, so I'm really thinking of getting rid of all these spikes and giving this Spawn a more traditional western look instead of a Spawn light look which it sports right now. And since I'm in the order of taking out these things and all that spikes, I think I'd also be working on trying to figure out how to take out this hat from that head sculpt. So see you in a bit, and let me work on it first. So after an hour of working on these figures, so we still have evidence of our little bit of work on the figure. So I've taken all of the spikes on the action figure, and I also subjected the joints and the points of articulation to more heat. So what have I already accomplished with this figure? So okay, let's put that to the side. So gonna run the spikes on the coat, the spikes on the biceps, the spikes on the forearm guards, and the gauntlets, the gloves. So I'm just going to sand this a little bit later and apply a little bit of brown paint on those areas, or maybe just leaving it as is. But on these areas I have to paint that with silver. So garner the spikes on the boots and also over here, so giving this Spawn action figure a more traditional, cleaner, western cowboy look. So little bit of paint later, but I'm already satisfied with what I have done. So gun is the punk rock looking cowboy, and we have a more traditional looking western or cowboy look for this Gunslinger Spawn. So let's go to the photos and the video shots.